Hi, I'm Dinesh the Spicy Gourmet, wishing your mom and all moms around the world a happy Mother's Day. Here's how you can celebrate by brewing up a fresh cup of organic chai. Cheers. Cup of chai, anyone? Hi, I'm Dinesh the Spicy Gourmet. Welcome back to my kitchen. As you may have guessed from the introduction, we are going to together prepare a very popular beverage in India and through the Indian subcontinent, which is chai. Now, chai is in the many dialects of India simply spiced tea. So when I hear people refer to this beverage as chai tea, it's kind of redundant because chai is tea. So for this particular recipe, what I've done is I've combined, because so many variations of chai in India, I've combined two recipes to come up with this one really delicious tea, spiced tea. The ingredients are whole cardamom pods, Ceylon cinnamon, then we have whole clove buds, black pepper. Unusual, I know, but there it is. Of course, our main ingredient is black tea, and to that we add some grated ginger. And of course, we have sugar. I'm using brown sugar, but obviously you can use white polished sugar if you wish. So the first thing that we're going to do is going to bring some water to boil, let it simmer, and we're going to actually just roughly break up these spices. So we start with the cardamom, the cinnamon, the cloves, and there's a little bud left over, black pepper. Now, we're not going to powder these spices, but simply grind them to so that we break up the whole spices, so that we can actually have the flavors being imparted into this simmering water, okay? It's going to take a little less time to do it if we grind the spices. And as always, if we're using the Spicy Gourmet grinder, we start off like this. Spin the blade, turn it up, and as you can see, we're basically grinding these whole spices to that consistency, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring some water to boil, as I said, and we're going to introduce these spices to the water. Now, we're going to reduce it to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes or so, okay? We'll let that do its thing over there, and while it's happening, you can possibly imagine how chai is enjoyed throughout India. You know, in marketplaces, in railway stations, it's much like how you might want to pop in to have a Starbucks. Sorry about the name, but you know, that is the most popular kind of coffee house there. So chai is much like that. People enjoy chai throughout the day, and possibly because of the caffeine in the tea and the spices, it's just a refreshing, enjoyable beverage. Okay, so we've had the spices simmering for about 5 minutes. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add our black tea to it. Now this happens to be Ceylon tea because I'm from Sri Lanka and I have lots of black tea. And this happens to be a premium quality. I believe it's called high tea. I'm not quite sure, but here we are. We're gonna introduce the tea to the spices and the water. We're gonna stir it a little bit. Now the next step in this process is to actually use my preference, a French press. Now you may use a teapot, you may simply want to strain this to a strainer, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to use a French press This is the same one that I use for my coffee. Of course, it's thoroughly rinsed and clean. I pour the tea in there, the spices and the tea. I'll get this out here. Make sure everything goes in there. Like so. And now I'm going to add our ginger to it. Once again, stir it. And let it steep for about a minute or so, or longer if you like the tea to be stronger. Gonna set that, let that sit for a little bit. Okay, our chai has been brewing. It's in mid-preparation, and of course, now we arrive at the final step, which is basically involves adding two ingredients to this. Number one, we're going to add our sugar, which is of course to taste, as they say. We're going to stir that, make sure the sugar dissolves, and then of course the final step is warm milk. We don't want to have the tea become cold, so we use warmed milk. Add that. Boy, that looks good already. Put that away. Now we're going to use the French press. And use it like you do with your coffee. There we are. And there we have our freshly prepared chai. Now, I know a lot of people are accustomed to buying chai in little packets, which come in little boxes from the grocery store. Highly sweetened and really not quite the same as a very simple chai recipe such as this. Now all there is left to do is to enjoy the chai. There we are. Oh my. Now of course, this is spicy. That's the way I like it. And you can adjust the seasoning, the spices, and in fact the tea also, because the tea is strong too, according to your taste, as well as the sugar. But for my taste, this is extraordinary actually. You know, the British made tea very popular by being in India, and the Indians thought, well, you know, let's add some spices to it. And thank goodness they did, because this is absolutely delicious. Sweet spice tea, which is chai, for your enjoyment. We've actually prepared some spice sets, particularly for the chai. You're welcome to visit me at thespicygourmet.com. Click on recipe videos and you will find that particular product there. Please do share this recipe with your friends and family, and of course enjoy it for yourself. From one Indian tradition to another, really quite lovely Indian tradition, which is Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dinesh, the Spicy Gourmet. Until the next time, cheers.